Hey guys, do you want to see a movie about vigilante, violence, and woman in jeopardy?
Like the game show?
Yes.
What is yes?
I love Woman in Jeopardy.
I'm Alexa Trebek.
If you like those things, then you'll like Death Wish 3, according to IMDb.
Very good. This movie came out in 1985. Good year.
Good beer.
Was that the year for you?
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah.
This episode brought to you by Hams. So,
If you don't care what beer you drink, drink Hams.
the extra ham sort. Yep. Confession. So when we do earlier episodes, we never know, like, hey, we doing just coffee or whatever. But we were kind of at that 11 o'clock point where it's just like, is it early enough to drink? But it was too late, so I just went to my fridge and grabbed some hams.
Hams.
Yep, which I genuinely do enjoy.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Dude, so listen, you can't always go hard in the paint with the craft beer.
Right,
Yeah.
of course.
It just gets expensive.
It does.
Well,
So-
I remember that one. I remember it was years ago. I think at your old place.
Yeah.
And we were drinking craft beer, and we were out. We needed more, and we just went to the store with JJ Peppers, maybe.
Probably.
And you just grabbed a 30 case of Pabst. You're like, Pabsting it up. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, $10 or whatever. You know, why not?
Yeah,
Well, especially at the end of the night. You're not going to
Exactly.
taste the difference
Right.
anyway.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, 30 cube of hams goes for like
Yeah.
$11.
So
Can't do it.
funky music again. I was so happy. This music was great at the beginning of it.
Yes.
Oh, wait, before we get into it.
shit.
I was excited.
That's fine. For people who have not seen this movie, Death Wish 3 obviously stars Charles Bronson. Architect and vigilante Paul Kersey arrives back in New York City and is forcibly recruited by a crooked police chief to fight street crime caused by a large gang terrorizing the neighborhoods.
Yes.
This is how New York was.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I heard it was pretty shitty back then.
Yeah, everything that happened to this movie was basically it's a documentary.
documentary, yeah, right.
Basically. Yeah.
Yes, the soundtrack. Yes, I mean, as soon as it starts playing,
Yeah.
it's like samba music, but like on a Casio keyboard.
Yes.
1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1,
It was great.
3, yeah, come on!
You accidentally hit that one. Awooga.
Why is there a lion sound? Hey, different telephone noises.
God.
But we should note that the soundtrack was composed by Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow, I didn't catch that.
That and I was trying to, when I saw that, I tried to quickly look into all of it, and so I guess the guy who did the score for the last Death Wish, which he wasn't credited or paid for, I think.
Ooh.
But he only had like 2 months to do the soundtrack for this
Yeah.
one. He's like, "Oh, Jimmy Page, want to help me out?"
Yeah.
So
Weird.
that's how we got looped into this. But the gang. That's something.
Wow.
Do we start with, do we recommend it?
Do we? Yeah, sure.
Sure, why not?
Brand, do you recommend this movie?
I got a burp comment. Yes.
You do?
Yeah. Dude, it was so over the top.
It was.
Like over the top. I really enjoyed it just because it was just so goofy and so funny and just some of this like I'll name a little part. When Paul Kersey, Charles Bronson was getting shot at.
Yeah.
He like got shot at crazy. Like bullets were just like going around him, like coming at him, but then would take a turn and go around him.
Yes.
It was just so.
Brian, would you recommend this movie?
You know, originally I wanted to say no, but now like the more I'm kind of thinking about it, I'm like, wow, this is
How
pretty.
would you say no?
You know what? There's something about it that kind of misses about it for me. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm on the fence right now. I'm on the fence a little bit. I mean, but it's weird though, because usually movies that I say no to, I don't have a lot of notes for.
Yeah.
But I mean, this one I have like 2 fucking full size.
I think once we talk, it'll.
Yeah. I'm gonna say on the fence.
Okay.
Undecided.
Yes, 100%.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Now, I have a story that goes along with this. So at the beginning, when that old guy is in his apartment, so Charles Bronson, he's coming to meet his friend.
Jolly.
Yeah. He's coming to meet his buddy, but his buddy,
You're gonna hear lots of Charles Bronson impressions.
So his friend is in his apartment, and these 3 gang members come in and start throwing windows, throwing windows through his rocks. So they threw rocks through his windows.
Double pain coming at you.
And just attacking them. You don't really know why, like they're focusing on this guy until a little bit later, but so they're beating the crap out of him, and you're hoping that Bronson gets there in time. But he doesn't. So at the time that the guy's getting attacked, all you hear is, "You sons of bitches!" That's what the guy yelled out, "You sons of bitches!" At these guys. Well, in high school, we had this. I don't know if all high schools were like this, but we had like he was like a monitor that because the gym teacher couldn't be in the locker room the entire time. So there was a guy in there that would make sure fights didn't break out. Everyone's kind of behaved, and we called him Big Mike. Because he was a big dude, and it was Mike.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So because
he's a big dude, his name was Steve.
Yeah.
He was small.
We called him Big Mike. Yeah. So high school like locker rooms are disgusting. So like he would ask us questions like what's the longest river in the world and stuff, and if you got it right, you'd be able to hold the door open. It was whatever. It was really weird.
A simpler time back then.
Yeah, and so you'd be able to hold the doors open and get a breeze coming in.
If you get it right, you get to hold these marbles.
Well, he was like, "Oh, you answer my question, you can hold the door for a week." But he had that voice like that. He's like, "Oh, Big Mike, go." So there's one part where he just was in a bad mood and he wouldn't let anyone hold the doors. So it got really stifling hot and they were super gross. So it got into a point where imagine this huge, like 300-pound plus dude standing in front of like these doors, and he wouldn't let anybody hold them. But everyone's getting really restless. Yeah. So people in the back start pushing. And so the people in the front started getting pushed into Big Mike.
Yeah.
And Big Mike's like, hey, stop it. Hey. They push him so far. Big Mike falls down. The entire group of kids charges, runs over Big Mike. I'm watching this from behind. I was like a 4'0" kid that could have got killed. So I'm watching this, staying away.
Stop it, guys.
Yeah. Big Mike falls. Everyone rushes him. The battle didn't even go. People just start leaving. And all I see is people like running ahead. Big Mike on the ground, shaking his fist in the air, yelling, "You sons of bitches." And I guess he like tweaked his knee because the next day he came in with like a thing on his knee, and he was just like, it was a thing. It was crazy.
I think that's how a bunch of people died at a Who concert.
I will never forget it. Just him on the ground, seeing a 300-pound plus man just shooting his fists in the air, just screaming, "You sons of bitches." And that's what made me think of this. It was
the Who, or was it Great White?
Oh,
that's the fire. That was the fire.
That was the
fire.
fire.
So both are fine. People dying at concerts.
Bill from Bill and Ted's was in this too.
Alex Winter.
Yes. I'm very happy.
I like to call them the Ash Wednesday gang because they all have the things.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really weird. And the head guy had the middle of his head
reverse
shaved.
mohawk.
Yeah, that was
very strange. Not a very pretty man.
No.
Lots of nose hair. And every camera angle is like shot low, so like you got to see it all.
Yeah, and just when he finally gets there to his friend, Charles Bronson.
Yes,
and he's like, "Oh, he's dead." And then 3 seconds later, the cops come in. "You did this."
Yeah. No questions. No fingerprints. No forensics. He's like, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they put him in jail, and just everyone wants to fuck with Charles Bronson.
Yeah.
Well, they're just like, people are just starting fist fights at random.
Like there's that one guy
they're bored.
Yeah,
Wait, with that one black guy, he's like, "I'm crazy."
Yeah, exactly. And then he
that.
just punches the one guy in the stomach, and the guy's like, "You just hit me in the stomach."
Yeah.
Bah!
But then those guys, was it the guys mess with? I don't know. All I remember is the fat guy's head going through the bars.
Yeah. He said something to Bronson, and Bronson said this was like, "Okay, whatever," and turned his back. And then the big fat guy went to get him. Yeah. Well, Bronson, of course, he's Bronson, so he grabs him and just shoves his head in between the bars and sits down. Right. And then that's when that other guy, the reverse mohawk, looks at him like, "Oh, here, I'm gonna get you."
Right.
Yeah. My turf. This land here is for me. No one else could have it.
If I would have known ahead of time I should have counted how many times they said the word creeps.
Yeah, they're all creeps.
No, it's a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Everyone's a creep. And finally when the chief finds out who Charles Bronson is, you know, he's like this vigilante, you know, who's cleaning up town, you know. He's he wants to hire Charles Bronson, you know, to not hire, but he wants him to kind of clean up the town. He's like, you know, we'll let you go, clean up the city, and then we'll get credit for it. You know, so let's make a couple of bucks. But the chief says the line, he's like, I hate creeps, but there's not much I can do about it. I'm a cop. I'm like, what?
Right, I know,
That's your job.
Yeah.
So that kind of drove me nuts.
Like, is it? So you guys, I know your dad, you know.
Yes, that's how it is in real life.
Yeah. So this is a documentary. This is it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I want to share with you guys. Okay, nice.
Yeah, between the gang leader with a reverse mohawk, and then there's a lot of like cut off, like midriff, like tank tops, mesh shirts.
Yes,
it was very,
one guy
with the purse snatcher. Is that you're going to talk about?
No,
the
that's
giggler.
That's the giggler.
Oh my,
no,
the giggler.
I'm thinking of the crop top shirt guy that's tie dye, but then it's just random chains hanging from his pants.
I don't remember that guy, but that's amazing.
But yeah, Charles Bronson goes back to that apartment where Charlie was killed.
Yes.
So he's like, he meets like this one guy that was friends with Charlie because they were like in
World War II together.
Yeah, yes, World War II, and they're like talking, and then he's like, this town is really gone to crap, you know. But if I leave, you know, they win. So like they're like looking out the window, and he's like, he's like, you see him? Yeah. He runs the gang. He's the worst. Okay.
And there's always moments where I'm like, oh, business is picking up. There's like a lot of businesses picking up moments where I thought it was going to go more like the head through the and then it stopped.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I'm not upset about it. It's just a lot of those kind of moments. I was like, it was almost like it could have, if there could have been action throughout the entire thing because there's always something going on. I liked that. That's kind of the point I didn't know how to express it well, but I was very excited.
Does anyone find stuffed cabbage as a really wonderful smell?
I like stuffed cabbage, but I would not say it's a wonderful smell.
Right.
Yeah.
What's stuffed cabbage?
Aren't those like
cabbage? Usually got the.
Isn't there a name for it? Isn't that like glumpies or like some
something
shit?
like that? Yeah, it's
I just realized I was thinking
like
of
Eastern
boiled
European.
cabbage.
I go to this buffet called Helen's Polish Buffet. It's off of Irving, but dude, it's not huge, but it's like handmade, but no, it's like really good.
Why'd you say it like
being made by robots?
Well, because you know when you go to a buffet, usually it's like super quick made food.
Right.
This is like really good,
high quality.
Exactly. So it's and man, they're so good there.
But like when he's talking to Charlie's buddy, whose name I can't remember. He's like, something really smells good. And like, that's the neighbors. And he's like, he said your food smells good. Come eat some stuffed cabbage. Smells wonderful. And I'm like,
is that how things were? I couldn't have like imagined being like, oh, come in. I don't know you, but eat with me. Like I couldn't. It's a different time, I guess.
And actually, a little before that, Charles Bronson buys that car and he just like kind of parks it. He's like, what that? He's like, that's bait. So while they're eating the stuffed cabbage, like they hear like a ruckus going on. And like he walks out there and there's like one guy under the hood and like another guy stealing like the stereo. And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, man, walk away, old man. He's like, that's my car. He's like, no, you're going to die. Like, this is escalated very quickly.
I was like, okay, boom, boom. Dad, what? He goes back to eat. He goes back to eat. I left a message. I gotta get to a Bronson.
I left the message. That and so there's like a few different times where they show. It's mainly the giggler, but just like people like pickpocketing and stealing purses and all that.
Right.
But there's one scene where they literally shoebox the guy.
Yes. Yes.
This is middle school?
And I think it's when Charles Bronson gets those guys. After he gets them, there's that one kid. He's like, yeah. And then Charles Bronson, he's like, so go ahead.
When did I can't recall, but it's when it's like they killed a vet. the guy was a vet. So it's like they were really hyping up the gang members just aren't bad for like New York. They're bad for America. It seemed like they were kind of pushing that, like, I don't know, not pushing it, but it's almost, it's hard to explain what I noticed. I'm not good at explaining things, I guess. Man, I have trouble with the other thing. Now this thing, I wrote it down. It seemed like it was important, but I guess it wasn't that important.
I hate to keep using the Home Alone reference.
I had that thought. Yes.
So Charles Bronson, he sets up like this board with a bunch of nails sticking up. So
very haphazardly.
Yeah. And he just like puts it like right inside like his bathroom window. And he like comes home one day and all of a sudden like he just like sees like
one bloody footprint.
One bloody footprint, and then they cut back to the gang. They're like, he's got movie trash.
And then the old couple with the board.
Oh, wait, hold on. God. So like after the guy steps on the nail, like the whole gang's like, what are we gonna do? They're like in total disarray. But then so Charles Bronson because the one older couple, they get their gun taken away.
Yeah. So that's the thing. The cops don't do anything because they're too scared to go after the gang. So they go after the people like that are just trying to survive.
Right. And they call like, listen, mister. They call everyone mister.
Yeah.
But they take away their gun. And like somehow Charles Bronson gets in contact with them. And they're like, we don't know how to defend ourselves. He's like, let me do this. He sets up like this. It's like an industrial size like mousetrap kind of.
Yeah.
So I think they're sitting down to eat again.
And you hear
I think I'm the only one who noticed it. But when the guy gets hit by it, he screams like David Lee Roth. He's like, oh!
Yes, I do.
Dude, I rewound it like 5 times. Dude, it's like, but when it's like this like big board that comes up and it just hits him in the face, right?
Yeah.
But when they go and look at it, like, what are those? He's like, teeth.
The part when they captured the other gang member, so he's like, you're the wrong turf, man. And they start like punching him. Remember that part?
Oh, I don't remember
the gang member. Yeah, he's got this one guy from the wrong turf. They start beating him up.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, hurt him. The reverse mohawk was hurt him. And then he gives him an axe. And the guy just goes with an axe and just kills him. You remember that part?
No, why am I drawing a blank?
Oh my God, I'm just like.
Did that happen during the day?
Yeah, during the day on this, like, right by a building, just kills this guy with an axe. Everyone, there's like.
There's a lot of cheering.
30 people cheering while this guy is getting killed with an axe.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Yes.
I'm like, what is going on? This movie's insane.
Wasn't the guy watching over the gang while Mohawk was in jail?
No, he gets stabbed.
That's right, and everyone cheers.
Like lots of cheering.
There was it was insane. Like, just the stuff that they did. Now, like you said, the cheering. You already said what I was going to say.
So the
love interest.
Yes, that's exactly where I was going.
Like there was no reason for her. It was just there so he can have sex with somebody, and then that's it.
So because she was like a public defender,
right?
And like she's like, you should sue the police. Like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And then she shows up later.
Yeah, I just was like, spiderweb.
And she shows up later to like his apartment,
right?
And she's like, you should really press charge. He's like, nope, not gonna do it. And she's like, okay, well, can I take you to dinner?
Yeah. Right.
It's just really out of nowhere.
Yeah. Even he was kind of like, no, not like the character Charles Bronson was like, is this supposed to be in the movie?
And he's like 3 times her age.
Right, of course.
But it's funny, something that I noticed is like after like, she like leaves in the taxi, he like does this thing where like he has like one finger in his back pocket. And it's like, he kind of looks like a little teapot almost.
I want to do that.
Like, that's a choice. So,
dude, is he still alive? He's dead, isn't he?
Charles Bronson?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, man, because when he was doing push-ups at that age, he was going. Did you remember the part where he was doing push-ups?
Yes, I remember that.
I'm like, dude, he was destroying those. I'm just like, if I thought, because I was putting myself in that place. If I was doing push-ups, like 1, okay, done.
Going back to the love interest, it was disturbing. Anytime they kissed, they'd zoom in on his mustache.
Yes.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
like, oh.
This is how people kiss.
Yeah.
I remember. So when Charles Bronson, he's like, oh, I got a friend coming, and like,
Oh yeah. Wildy.
So
Right. I'm not thinking Wildy.
Yeah.
Who is? I'm gonna meet a new person.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Like Sam Elliott and like in Roadhouse. It's right
Yes.
there.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, it'll be like another badass.
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
what I was
cool.
hoping. Yeah, but
Turns out to be like this ridiculous gun.
Yeah.
like it's like a different
basically
version.
a game.
Right.
Like hunting gun.
Yeah, some
right.
trivia about that.
But it's
later
funny.
on.
So he's like in his apartment. He's like opening it up, and then all of a sudden, in the background, you hear, "Oh wow!"
Oh man.
When what's his name? Rodriguez, the other neighbor, like his wife like gets captured and then raped.
Yeah, she gets raped.
A broken arm. But
Right.
then, But then she blood clots killed her.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
But it's how the doctor says it too. It's just like
Yeah.
they like rush to the hospital
Right.
and they're like, my wife. And he's like, Miss Rodriguez has expired. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, like it's not milk.
Yeah, exactly.
She's expired. The eggs are okay though.
The some heavy product placement for that Nikon camera.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, because that's when the giggler like runs up and like takes it.
Oh yeah. So yeah, because he's eating an ice cream.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. That
I
part,
want an ice cream.
yeah, that's weird how they keep on calling it an ice cream.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's weird.
But it was nice. You gave one to the kid.
He's like, thanks.
Yeah, and the owner was like, "Hey, you gave one ice cream to the kid. That was nice."
But yeah. So basically, was that the giggler?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He steals the camera. Charles Bronson shoots him with the giant gun.
Yes.
And then again, whole neighborhood comes out and starts cheering.
Yes. Literally, like 2 rows of windows. Like, got him.
There's a dead body in the street. I was like, yeah, dead people.
Oh, yeah, there's the sassy black woman. She's like,
Yes.
that's the creep that took my purse.
She was going even the next day.
Right.
In her like her pajamas. She's like, I'm happy he's dead. I'm happy he's dead.
She took my purse.
Yeah.
Yes, we know.
Yeah.
You keep saying.
But the weird thing was that, like, I get they're trying to like hype up this gun that it's
Yeah.
super powerful.
Right.
But so that pickpocket had been shot once, like through the midsection.
Right.
The cops, like the police chief, he comes to the scene and like the one like sergeant like pulls back the whatever blanket, towel,
Yeah.
whatever thing, whatever, pulls back the covers. And the police chief goes like, wait, do I have it written down? Oh yeah, he goes, Christ, there isn't much left, is there?
Right.
He just had a single like bullet wound in the chest.
That's
I made it sound like he exploded
Right.
or
That's
something.
right.
Oh,
yeah.
God. If he would have exploded.
Like the ending of Jaws.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
I was almost disappointed when they showed the 30 cals from the army. Remember, he opened the closet and he was like,
Oh, yeah, the giant
right.
gun.
And he put them back, and I'm like, oh, they're not going to use them.
yeah.
I'm like, please. And then when
Yeah.
oh,
yeah.
man,
Yeah, yep.
that was really good.
So when they Charles Bronson ends up going on the date.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, but this part was so insane. When he went on the date.
The car with
Yes,
in
the car.
cars and-
Yes.
Yeah.
After the date, remember they go on the date and they're at the dent, and then it was after. Oh no, it was after the date, but he was driving her. When did it?
Well, no, the first date was at her apartment.
What was the second one when she's like, "Oh, I'm going to be a farm girl now, and I'm not going to be in the city
Right.
anymore"? Because it was like she's like, "I'm a city girl,
Yeah.
and I can
Yes.
be wherever I want to be."
Yes, but it's on the first date, like when they're just chatting.
Yeah.
They did this really weird thing to whenever they'd show Charles Bronson. It was just like regular.
Yeah.
And whenever they showed her, it was super fuzzy.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it made
yeah.
it seem like Charles Bronson had glaucoma or something.
Really? I didn't
Just
catch
that
that.
soap opera effect.
Yeah,
it's like
Like a little
really
extra
weird.
Vaseline on the
Yeah.
lens.
And like it happened like many times,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, what's going on there? It was really weird. Yeah, and then they do an
Another
extreme
Oh, yeah.
close up on the kids.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, that's really weird.
But the second date is pretty
The
funny.
second date. Oh my!
Because he stops to go somewhere.
He goes into a store to buy something, right?
Like they're both driving the car. He pulls over. He's like, "Oh, I gotta stop in this. I forgot where.
Was it the mail place again?
Maybe." But yeah, when he stops there, like the gang, like punches her, knocks her out with one punch.
Oh, it was so funny.
And then they push the car down a hill. But then it T-bones another car. And first of all, that car that got hit got like demolished.
Yeah, and flipped
Like
and
it was
everything.
made out of cardboard or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Well, no, it was actually made out of flint because they both instantly explode.
And I love how he just kind of like looks down at it and he's like, well, like, it's like nothing to him. Whenever somebody like fell off a building or
which was a lot.
you love the body. It was like a dummy. You saw the mannequin.
So obvious that it was a dummy.
And it would hit a car and it would kind of just like hold the pose.
Right. And like, when it hit the car, it would just like kind of just fold on itself. Oh God.
Oh, man, so good.
When the car explodes. When Bennett, that's his name.
Yeah, it was just like Bennett's shop.
Yes, yeah. So the gang, like, they're all outside, and then Benny's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get him with my 30 cal."
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. So they're like, "It's not working!" And then they all like barrage him. And
and like 5 seconds before that, because he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get him." So he goes out with this huge gun, like Rambo-sized gun.
Yeah.
And all the gang members are like, "Oh, he's got a gun, run away!" And, they start running, and then like it jams, and then one of the guys like, "It doesn't work." Go back.
Oh no, but I'm sorry, you're right. It's before that. So it just shows Bennett's shop like on fire.
Yeah.
He's like, "My shop! That's my shop!"
And then he says, "My shop, my ship, my shop, my shoot." He doesn't even. It's all different words each time.
My shop, my shop, my shop, my shop. It says Bennett's shop.
And it's taxi meter service.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like how much money you pull it in with just fixing meters, buddy. Oh man, that was so good.
And then he decides to take matters in his own hand. The gang beats him up. He's in the hospital.
Yeah. Couple broken bone fractures or something.
Right.
And that's when Bronson comes in and he's like, "Hey, don't worry, pal."
So then this is like when Charles Bronson starts just kind of like armor up. He's like got like this like anti-tank.
Which did he use?
He did.
I don't remember when.
We'll talk about
it. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
you'll remember.
Okay, yeah.
You'll remember.
You're going to have to remind me then because it's not in my head at all.
And then Mr. Rodriguez has that weird
I think
he's
it's
got a zip gun or something like that.
Is it like shotgun shells in it?
It's gotta be.
It looked like it was shotgun shells, and all it does is I think it's got there's got to be like a pin that when he does that, it's got to hit the end of the shotgun shell and then shoot out the
That's
spray.
not like really a long range thing. Like he's hitting guys off roofs.
Yeah. That was weird.
But so when they decide to battle the gang, finally, Charles Bronson there was a second 30 cal.
Yes.
Dude, when he's running with that, oh my God, they're just going.
He's holding it on the barrel.
Yes.
Which would be really hot. So he's holding it first, and Mr. Rodriguez's job is just to hold the box full of ammo. And
I'll let you know my favorite part.
But when he's shooting it, just the way his facial expression is just.
Exactly. Yes.
It's just shaking from the vibration.
So they've got quite a bit of ammo. They go around doing that. And then there's the part where the not Bronson, but the other guy that's holding the ammo. I forgot his name.
Rodriguez.
Yeah. He's like, "We're out of ammo?"
Yeah.
He says a question. Like, you're holding the ammo box.
Yeah.
You should know that you're out of ammo.
But I like that though because I think it happened to two different characters, but when they ran out of ammo, they're really like, "Oh, I'm gonna go home now and get more ammo." It's like there's this whole gunfight happening. I'm gonna go home. I'll be back. Give me a second.
This is when shit goes. It's starting to go insane now.
Yeah. Like the whole city is just.
There's it's
right.
Like everybody's just basically it's a war zone. Everyone's out and just shooting everyone.
Yes.
It's nuts. Like that one kid. He's trying to hide behind the pole and all the motorcycles go. I'm like, what is this? There's no point in this. What's happening? You just show a kid scared.
And he's going from side to side.
Yeah.
And you're just stay in the middle of the pole.
Exactly. Yeah.
But and anytime someone was shot, they go flying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're like,
Yes.
But then I remember there's that one biker gang, the three guys on the bikes.
Yeah.
And the three citizens.
Oh yeah, that's so fucked up.
They pull the chain. And they go flying, and then what?
They walk up and just shoot them.
They shoot them,
and then start cheering.
They were the Super Bowl.
There's 30 people that all have guns.
Right.
Where were they the rest of the movie?
Right. Oh my God.
Oh man.
That and And this is another movie, going back to the last episode, where they lit someone on fire and then immediately shot him, so he wouldn't suffer at all.
Okay, I remember now what they did with
Yes.
yeah. Now after thinking about it, yeah.
And then there's a scene like where like Charles Bronson, he's like loading up like a gun or something like that, and like you see like a creep like coming up on him, and then the chief shoots him. He's like, he's like, I owed you that one, dude.
I almost forgot the part. Okay, so it's where this is much maybe more towards the middle, where Bronson, he's got his gun, he's going around, he's shooting, and that one guy's chasing him. Remember that guy? They give him the coke, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna kill him." Yeah, and then he shoots, and he
Cuban.
and he loses his gun.
Oh yeah,
Remember, he loses his gun,
right?
And he's running, and he chase him, and he's on the building, and he throws the guy off the building.
Yes,
he does the mannequin fall.
Yes.
Cuts right to him picking up his gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like,
that was so weird.
You can't find your gun before, but then you cut to him, he's like, did my job.
Yeah.
And all those people that were down there, I don't know where they went, so let's go get my gun and go home. I was like, okay.
Did that gang have terrible aim?
Yes. Because the amount of time, like they were shooting it, the amount of bullets shot at Bronson. It's like you said, it's like he had like a force field or something. Because it did show a couple times where he had like bullet holes in his shirt.
Yeah, he had the bulletproof vest.
And then he got stabbed in the back, but he had the vest on for the back too.
Do you remember the game Hogan's Alley?
Yes.
I feel like it's like, so it was like a game that you would use like the gun for like Nintendo. And I felt like that was this. So like it was just guys like in various positions.
Yeah.
Like I remember like there was like some like creeps on the fire escape, and like one guy's like squatting down.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And like,
everyone had their position. Exactly. The positions. That's right.
Like one guy's like hanging from a wall.
Yeah.
So it was really funny.
Yeah. This was like this movie. It was. You could have called this anything. It was just killing the entire time.
It's Death Wish, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It was insane. It was nuts.
So how the anti-personnel, anti-tank.
Yes, wait. And then Bill died.
Yes.
Bill from Bill and Ted.
Bill.
Oh, yeah.
He died, and then a cop car just blew up. Remember that happened?
At one point in this movie, you can tell that whenever they're done with a certain car, like with a police car or his car, whenever like the crew was done with a certain car, they would just explode it.
Yeah.
We're done with this, just light it on fire.
Yeah, it just was like boom.
Yeah, cars would just like explode for no reason.
And I always like how the gang members right before or as they were, doing something bad, they were yelling what they were going to do. Like, I'm going to kill you. Like, hey, give me that purse.
Yeah, exactly. There's always something. Or the one guy's like, give me $5, man. Give me $5. It's like, oh, okay. And the lady's like, no, get out of here. The guy's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, so Charles Bronson, he's like, I think he's getting more ammo in his apartment.
Yes.
And the reverse mohawk guy, he like sneaks in and he's about to shoot him. But then the chief is there. And he shoots reverse mohawk.
Yes. And you'd think, oh, everything
come
to
an all done.
Yeah.
And then I forget how it transpires.
So reverse mohawk guy got shot in the arm.
Right.
Too. So he's sitting down at the kitchen table.
The chief, you mean?
Yeah. The chief got shot in the arm. So the chief kind of walks over and sits down at the table.
Right.
Yeah. Bronson's just like, oh, well, I guess we're done.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you
see his eyes open.
Yeah.
The reverse mohawk guy. Yeah.
He stands up. He's like, I have a bulletproof vest too. Mwahaha.
Yeah.
And then he's got this gun at Bronson. He goes back to the other. Then he goes to the other guy and he's like, you can't get us both.
Right.
Yeah.
The police chief says
the police chief said, because then he points at the police chief, and while he's doing that, go ahead, Brian. No, I can tell you really want to say this. Go ahead.
Charles Bronson just really fucking quick just grabs the anti-personnel thing,
which is like a rocket launcher.
Yeah, a rocket propelled grenade. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and he the guy
6 feet away.
He can't. 6 feet away.
Yeah,
shoots him. Just the fucking side of the wall is gone. Just gone.
And then once it clears, you see the body.
Right.
It's a skeleton. It's a skeleton.
And they do like both of them just like walk up and just
we did it. Yeah. And then the gang's like, oh, he's dead. I guess we gotta get out of here.
And the rest of the house is unfazed. Like, there's still like pictures on the wall. Like, like it was. Bronson and the villain are close enough where like a rifle would have been overkill.
Yes.
Oh.
And using a rocket launcher.
Oh, it was
amazing.
I can't believe I forgot that part. Yeah. It was awesome.
I enjoyed the movie, but then when that happened, I was like, this is the best movie ever.
And then at the end, the head chief guy is like, oh, you gotta get out of here, I'll cover for you. Thanks for everything you did, kind of thing. But like, I don't really want you back, almost, So, and then that was it.
That actually do have budget and box office for this.
Nice. Yeah.
Budget was 9 to 10 million.
There you go.
It's a little bit of a range. How do you think it did?
Ooh, I think a few million, maybe. If anything.
Sit down.
Maybe $1 million?
1985.
It's made for 9 to 10 million.
I'm gonna say 15.
Okay.
I don't think it did very
16 million.
Wow. Awesome.
Apology accepted.
Yeah. Well, I am a real American.
Well, I won't wear it anymore, but wear the
Some trivia for this.
Yes.
According to the book Bronson's Loose by Paul Talbot, the original working title was Death Wish 3, like Roman numeral 3.
Okay.
It was changed to Death Wish 3, the number 3, because the Canon Group conducted a survey and found that nearly half of the U.S. population could not read Roman numerals.
Holy shit. Hey, you want to go see that Death Wish?
I'd say like 3 is one of the easier.
Exactly.
I mean, it worked out for Rocky 3.
Yeah, right?
Jeez.
Right, because at that point, 1985, people are well versed enough to get to Rocky 4.
Right, yeah.
So they know up to 3 at that point.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, let's see. Charles Bronson uses a Wildy .475 Magnum hand cannon in this movie. It was his personal handgun in real life.
That's fantastic.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
He suggested it as a means to make the film unique, which I would say is very true. In a 2005 interview in American Handgunner magazine, Wildy Moore, the gun's creator, he says the sales for the weapon increase every time this film is aired on cable TV.
That's awesome.
Do you think that they made so it's a version of the Magnum, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't know why I said it like that. Do you think they made it one more up just to say like, hey, he's better than Dirty Harry?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At least the line or like, oh, is that like a Magnum?
Right.
And like, oh no, it's for big game animals or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah.
I'm better than that son of a bitch.
This is the last Death Wish movie that was directed by Michael Winner. So he did Death Wish 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, okay.
There's 5 in the series, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't know if there were 4 or 5.
And then it was remade or rebooted last year with Bruce Willis.
I heard
I
about
don't
that,
know.
but I had no urge to.
Yeah. Terrible. Charles Bronson rarely granted interviews or commented on his own films. However, he plainly stated his unhappiness with this film several times. He said he was especially angered when he discovered that the director filmed extremely gory shots when he was offset.
Huh.
I could see like the axe part.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't see anything, but a guy got murdered. Like he was alive and he got chopped up with an axe.
Yeah.
So I can understand that.
Oh, and then this last bit of trivia, which I'll lead into the reason why I love this film. Charles Bronson was 64 years old when he was in this movie.
That's awesome.
1 year to retirement.
That's awesome. And how old was the love interest? Late 20s, early 30s?
Yeah, there's no, yeah.
That's great.
So I mean, in the end, I think that's why this is probably one of my favorite movies that we've covered. Is because like, so I love movies like Commando,
Right?
with Schwarzenegger, or Cobra with Stallone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I like movies where, especially 80s movies, where the main character looks like he didn't take steroids. He took all the steroids,
Right.
and single-handedly takes down an entire country's
Right.
army. Like those movies are awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
But to like take out, Schwarzenegger, who was Mr. Olympia 4 times or whatever,
Right.
and replace it with a dude who looks like he does your taxes. I was like, yes,
It's pretty great.
and people are still intimidated by him for some reason. So yes, I highly recommend this film.
Yeah, I still too.
Though, okay, so have you guys seen any of the other Death Wish movies?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm curious how they compare.
yeah,
'Cause this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
hope
The other ones are equally awesome.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Are the other ones by the Canon Group though?
I don't know.
Well,
We'll have to
find
look.
out.
Brandon, do you still recommend it?
Yes.
Brian,
Yep.
do you recommend this? You're on the fence before.
I was. No, now kind of in hindsight, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good like group. Okay,
Yes.
like night,
Oh, yeah.
night
Yep.
with like the guys,
Yeah.
like kind of
Yep. Agreed.
yeah. Christopher?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely recommend. For sure.
Brandman, how do you feel about hams?
It's definitely a beer.
You know
I like it. It's not like it's just a nice beer.
Yeah.
Perfect beer to go with this movie.
I'd say
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yes. That's a good way to put it.
So
That's everything. I don't think.
oh, did you change? I must have been.
Yes,
Yes, because
you
I
were
was looking
paying
at
attention.
the
That's
other
all right.
Death
That's
Wish.
fine. Fuck
I
me.
think only Death Wish 2 is canon, though. By looking quick, I think Death Wish wasn't, but
Oh, okay.
I didn't look too much into it. So,
So there's still a chance.
still a chance. So.
We're gonna watch them in reverse order.
No, that's fine.
What were we saying?
I think
that's it.
Yeah.
that's
Is there
everything.
anything else?
Yeah, we haven't named our choices
No.
for the next one yet.
Oh, no.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, everything goes on.
How was it? Boom, boom,
Boom,
boom,
boom.
Thanks for checking out this week's episode. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, tell a friend.